who's where is this research happening? Where is it happening in the corporations, or is it happening?
It's a very interesting question, and it's a change in the dynamic which I don't think anybody fully understands. A lot of this research actually requires a lot of money because it requires a lot of computation.
Right.
And it's shifted into these companies who have research arms. So Google purchased DeepMind, and that's
That's
big
from Oxford.
That's a big research organization. Actually, and you're not sure if it's a commercial venture or a research organization, but at the very least, at all the top quality top conferences, they are publishing very high quality articles. And you're also starting to see career paths emerge which are 80% in a company and 20% in a university. And with that 20% of time, you can do what you like. In a university, you could mentor a student, you could teach a course, you could sort of do. And that's a very sort of new development. I think research was traditionally in all the universities, and it shifted into these companies.
Because you simply don't have the capital.
And they do, and there's a lot of advantages. There's a lot less, surprisingly, bureaucracy in these corporations. If you're on the ground, a lot of what you do as a professor at a university is trying to bring in the money, applying for the grants. And so it's quite attractive to join a company and not have to worry about that.
Right, just give you the money and just go do your research.
Yeah, exactly. But there is a question of incentives, though.
Exactly, right? and the whole integrity behind the research for the sake of research, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's unclear whether this is a good change or a bad change. I think there's a lot of good quality research being produced by the companies today that wouldn't exist if they didn't try it. At the same time, there are a lot of people who feel a little bit left out or feel that it's difficult to make progress because they don't have a vast army of computers available to them like these other researchers. So it's hard to say. I would say I'm not entirely comfortable with companies becoming sort of the leaders of research because of the incentive problem, because
they're accountable to stockholders, right?
Yes, and they'll push the research in a direction that more likely is more likely to produce shareholder value.
Right.
And that's not necessarily the direction we want to go. The only reason why neural networks, maybe it's not the only reason, but a main reason that neural networks are still prominent and still used is because researchers in Canada were supported by CFAR grants to continue the research when everybody else said, this isn't interesting anymore, we're done. And they continued and they made a number of very important findings, but that was because they weren't at the whims of some shareholders. Otherwise, they would have stopped for sure long ago. So that's interesting. I can't say I'm super happy with it, but I have to acknowledge that it's been very beneficial to the field.
So the future is, it's pretty much all uncharted territory here.
Yeah, it does seem like it will just continue to move to corporations. Academia is outdated in a lot of ways. The application process is outdated. The method of disseminating information is outdated. The method of acquiring funding, rewards those who are arrogant. I would say perhaps mislead you, perhaps are too confident in the decision, will try and sell you. I don't have to throw stones. I know my laboratory is funded by a grant where in 2001 they were saying they were going to have algorithms which made decisions for patient care in 2001. It's 2019, we still don't have those algorithms, right? So the sort of grant mechanism does encourage you to overpromise, I guess is the way I'll phrase it. And that's clearly not for everybody, and that pushes a lot of people out of academia who would be brilliant researchers. So I think it will continue to move towards corporations, and I don't think we know what the meaning of that is yet, and I think we'll learn soon.